Hey guys, welcome back to Black, White, and the Grays. If you're new here, my name is Kylie and we are located in Central Oregon. We are a zone 3-4 and our technically last frost date is June 15th, but we actually get frost all year round. So it doesn't matter if it says June 15th, we'll still be getting it June 30th, July, August, we will still get it. This is a bit unusual though. I'm going to show you my tomatoes because they're doing pretty good. Some of them are like getting tired of being in their little pots and need to get planted up in our high tunnel. But it's going to be Memorial Day weekend and we're supposed to get snow on Sunday. Snow. Yes, snow. So we are in my laundry room slash bathroom. These guys are looking the saddest. They really just need some fertilizer. I have some dahlias I started in here, and these tomatoes, let's see if I can. They're looking so good. Beautiful guys, they're just needing to get the heck out of here, but I thought I'd give you an update. On where we're at with these. They're doing super good. They need to get out of here, but what can you do when there's snow in the forecast? We have still been getting a lot of stuff done. I've been planting tomatoes. I planted a third row of cabbages from seed, so direct sowing. I planted more carrots, all the things I've been planting, people. So next week we will plant out our tomatoes and peppers in our high tunnel after hopefully the risk of everything. And if we get cold, I will put layers and layers of frost cover on them. And I've heard a lot of people do like the Christmas lights underneath the frost cover with their plants to help warm it up, and I might have to do that this year. I have been getting a lot of work. The geese. I have been getting a lot of work done out in the gardens, but I'm sorry, pigs are coming over. But I have some sunflowers that either got ate up by a chicken, or which they probably did because you know the whole bird netting thing. And so I brought out some more sunflowers to kind of sow in place. We've had such a cold spring that things are just kind of lethargic, and I'm sure they'll catch up as they always do. But I brought out a bunch of packs of sunflowers, just some basics. My favorite to grow here in this garden are the mammoth sunflower seeds, and they are absolutely beautiful. They're tall, but they're small enough where they aren't the massive heads. I find in our shorter seasons that our sunflowers can handle a lot of frost and a lot of freezes to an extent that I have tried to grow the Titan ones and they get just massively huge. And before it was like we get to September and they haven't quite bloomed out yet, and we're down in the teens and we lose them all. But the mammoths have a smaller head, so they don't get as big, but they do get quite a bit tall, 7 to 12 feet. So it's pretty good, but the sunflower head itself isn't as large, so it has time to bloom and we get the blooms. But the ones with the fatter heads that I really find are really awesome. I just haven't had very good success with them. So I like chicken laid an egg. I like to put these kind of on the back of the fence, and then I will in front of it sow flowers that don't get as tall. It's like 4 to 6 feet. And then sometimes I underplant the 4 to 6 feet with some bachelor buttons or poppies, or some teddy bear sunflowers that are like dwarf sunflowers, and kind of stagger it that way. That's kind of how I get my little sunflower forest look every year. And I'm out here, I'm going to be planting some poppies. I did plant some in the fall, but I always spring and fall plant just to be doubly sure. And you can kind of just scatter these along, and I know with a lot of people where you're at, all the pigs are right here. where you're at, it's too warm to plant poppies. Fortunately, with our frost risk all year round, we can plant poppies whenever, and they'll bloom in August. So we have our garden tour that we do. We've done it. This will be our 4th year, and it happens typically mid-August, which is the perfect time for my poppies to be in full bloom. So we're gonna scatter these around the garden and get going. It's quite dry in here. I need to water it today as well, so we're gonna get it ready. I'm on a time. I have 10 minutes. I got 10 minutes, people, before I gotta go and get my kids. So here we go. Let's get this planted up. There's actually quite a bit more sunflowers coming up than I thought there were, so that's good. Whew. It is so warm today. Southern people would probably, well, I know they would say I was a baby, but that's okay. It's only 70 something, like maybe 73. Okay, so I just did some Flemish antiques, some scarlet. The peony poppies are by far my favorite, and the Flemish antique was my big favorite last year. So I have some more California poppies. I'm gonna, oh no, these are Ison poppies. These should not be in here. Well, I guess I could. Why not? There's this area right here by my tree, which has the hardest time growing much. I planted a bazillion hollyhocks in it last fall, and they're coming up. I just need some things to take it over. It's too shady for sunflowers. Sunflowers love sun, so it's a little too shady for that. But so I'm just surface scattering these poppies. It's just exactly what it sounds like. Just sprinkling them. So you'll want to like surface scatter, and then you could like shake the dirt around, but they do not want to be covered very much. And we're supposed to have a really rainy, snowy weekend. So hopefully they get really in the soil. And I gotta get going. Last year my whole thing for this garden was to turn it into a flower garden, and then about when summer started I changed my mind because I really missed having food growing in here. So this has some bit of everything planted in it. It's got, my walking onions are really starting to come up down here, and my ramps and chives. It's got orage in here, which is really good for, it's a very hardy green. The kind I have is the magenta one. Beautiful. And I just scattered some poppies over here in the corner. I have some herbs also in the corner. Kale is coming up here, and my walking onions are just really starting to pop. More are coming up than I realized. And then here we have, I did lettuce from the end of this bed to the windmill. The windmill is planted undersowed with peas, and I actually haven't done anything with this section of this bed. So hopefully. Potatoes is this, the geese. Potatoes is this entire bed, which I want to top dress with compost. We did top dress these in the fall with compost, but for visual, maybe I won't do it until they need it, but this one needs this is potatoes as well. This bed, I have not planted anything in it, and there's two reasons. I really think that a ton of my volunteer calendula, this bed was completely calendula last year, and parsnips, and I think they're all gonna come back pretty strong, so I left that bed. This whole walkway is always sunflowers. At the end of every bed is also sunflowers, and then the back wall, the back run is sunflowers, and they typically don't grow as big over here. It's pretty shady, so they just don't have it. I have my lilac, and I have my Russian comfrey planted. It's starting to come back up. My rhubarb, And raspberries, they're starting to spurt out. So they're kind of encroaching onto the pathway, but not quite. This whole area I would just really like to make raspberry, and that whole area is raspberries. And I have some elderberries, but I might just, raspberry seems to be doing the best in here, and I might just continue to fill this up, the border, with raspberries. It's protected from the deer, and it's something my family really likes. So I gotta get going, guys, but thanks for coming along, getting that tomato update and getting this garden. This is our goat. That's Primrose. She is the first mammal that was born on our farm, and she's very special to me. And we have 2 goats. We have Flower and Primrose, and my cousin recently moved here, and they live really close to us, and I think they'll be going to them. They will utilize them. They got some little kids, and they'll utilize them more than we do. So we're gonna rehome them in, I don't know, a couple weeks or so when they get their fence ready. They got their barn ready to go. They're working on it, and I have been saving these Primrose, especially Flower, we got later on, and I don't have quite a sentimental attachment to her, but I do with Prim. And I wanted to give it to somebody who I knew was going to really value them, because they're great little milkers, and they'll be great for our cousins right down the road from us, so we'll still get to see them and be a part of them, but I just want them to be used for what they're meant to be used for. This has been a crazy warm week for us. I got sunburnt yesterday. Like, it was, high of 70, 76. It was blazing. But we're about to get snow, so there we go. There's that. All right. I know a lot of you guys are really having some serious heat issues where you live, so 76 is like a cool winter day, a cool day for you. Well, hey, trade-offs here, people. Beautiful day. See you in my next video, guys. Thanks for following along. Bye, guys.